I don't know if this is going to work. We are officially the stupidest couple on YouTube.
We've decided.
You wouldn't believe the rigmarole we've got around us, and just at the last minute we're trying to set things up. Is the sound working, by the way? Is the sound working? Because that was the last thing we put onto the live stream. We've got a camera up here to do our show that we're trying to film. We've got another one off to the right here. Hello, hello, everybody.
So, how are we going to do this?
Is the sound working? If you don't tell me if the sound working, I'm going to kill the live stream and we'll just get on and film it. So quick as you can. Is the sound working?
We'll just sit here till somebody replies.
Just lagging, but
yeah. Okay. Hello. Sound is on.
Thank
cool.
you. Literally, you're going to end the stream because. Thank you. Just getting going today. If I could show you somehow, I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can move that around here. No, because we're plugged in all over the place. Yeah. Okay, hold that for me, Michelle.
Okay.
We have cameras and gear that can fall over absolutely everywhere.
Plug it back in.
And plug that back in if you can without knocking over everything.
Oops, sorry guys. There we go.
Okay.
Right.
It's going to be a treat for you today. It's probably, I'm not going to say definitely, it's probably worth the wait. Probably not. Now the highs and hellos I can't read because the camera's too far away, but Michelle will occasionally vanish and have a chat with you. What we're going to try and do today is do a Turkish, to this camera up here, we're going to do a Turkish snack video.
So a normal video like we would do to put up on YouTube.
But we're gonna have it on live with you guys, so you can kind of join in, and maybe if I hold something up, you can tell me what is that, or you know what is that, or how do you pronounce this, or that. And we're only going to film occasionally on our main camera rigs here, so we're just going to do the occasion, and I'm going to keep putting my hands in front of Michelle's face like this.
That's all right.
Hello, welcome to, like that. So you're getting all the bloopers in one go.
Live.
So how is this going to work? I haven't got a clue.
No.
Shall I go and check, see if any comments are coming through?
Okay, so Amy's there and Sally's there. Hi guys.
Hi Amy, hi Sally.
V. Bonas says hello, sound is on.
Bonas.
Sound is on. And Cheap Shop Photography says hi, Stephen Michelle.
G'day. So the idea is, as I say, we've got 2 cameras set up and we're going to try and film this and talk with you while we're doing it. We got a whole heap of Turkish treats here. They're mainly sweet, if not all sweet.
No, I think there's a couple that more. No, I'm not sure. Maybe.
The idea is eventually, I'm sorry, I'm really dry.
Oh, hang on. Want a glass?
The idea is eventually, I just get the bottle here, Michelle, the blue one's just down there. Thanks so much. The idea eventually, now I'm not going to be able to get out because we're boxed in this little corner. So when I say, go Michelle, it's because I can't get out. And that's my excuse.
We tried it all the other way round, but it was just too dark in here, wasn't it?
So we're virtually sort of cramped into the corner of our little alcove here.
You'll eventually have a big pile of things down there for you.
Yeah, everything. So we got heaps and heaps of treats. How are you all? Fantastic, I hope. And we just wanted to do something indoors because there's not a lot more we can see just around and about the streets, but we've got some good videos coming. We have. It's warm.
It is. Shall we just turn that?
No.
Adjust it?
No, it'll be all right.
It'll be all right.
We've got a fan blowing over there. It might help us. But it's been miserable today. The weather has been absolutely chucking it down. The skies have been dark and grey. We've had a couple of really grim days. But right now, just as the live stream starts, it's like summertime. It's beautiful out here. And of course, you can see the sun on one side of my head. It's going to get warm. Yeah. So we hadn't thought about that. We're probably also going to have all our chocolate melt on the table.
It's cool enough in here, I think. It's really hot.
The camera can you turn this one on, Michelle? Turn the G7X on so we've got the B-roll camera going. So we've got a B-roll camera filming the stuff that's on our table. We've got a main roll camera up there, and occasionally you'll see me looking away from you guys because I need to look up there.
That's what I always forget, but I will try my best.
So let's start.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, better hit the film as well, Michelle.
Shall I hit film?
We're filming that one at the same time? That's a 15-minute rollover, that one, isn't it?
Do you want to just...
No, we'll go.
Yeah?
Okay. So we would normally start by introducing ourselves to that audience. Not you lot. You shut up. We're talking to your other audience. You later on. Hi, and a big welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Today we are going to have some delicious Turkish delights. Well, not actually Turkish delights.
No Turkish delights.
No Turkish delights. We put a message up on Facebook and Instagram the other day asking our Turkish friends to tell us what delicious snacks there were. They've said a whole bunch of things, and we've decided to go out and buy virtually all of them. They are mainly sweet, aren't they, Michelle?
They are. I think maybe one savoury.
One savoury.
But we don't mind.
But never mind. Now I am looking occasionally down here because we are live streaming this as we're filming it. So if you want to see the fuller version, get across and check out the link below for the full live stream. But in the meantime, let's get on and enjoy these Turkish snacks. And then I'll come back to you guys. And hopefully we can use that.
Yes.
If we can't use it, well, we're stumped.
Yes.
You know, if the sound's wrong.
And it should be okay. We've sorted all of that. So, and you didn't stumble, so that was good. One take.
One take. But I'm nervous. I am nervous. Forgive me.
He's running it through in his head as well, what bits he's got to do.
I've got my script here.
Yeah. See, it's just all written down here.
All up here. Back to Aaron. I really want to kick this off by having a drink. Now we've got Beyglu Gazuzu. Anyone on live stream want to give me the name of that? How I would pronounce that?
To this one to get a close up.
I'm gonna hold it up to that.
Get
a close up. Now this is fascinating because this is a ginger drink. It's a soda drink, but it's in the shape of the Galata Tower. Hold it down to the B-roll camera, so the B-roll camera gets it. So it's kind of cool. Galata Tower is a famous landmark here in Istanbul. So it's a soda pop in the shape of the tower. And
this one was a ginger one, I believe. Someone said that
are there different flavours?
Yeah, someone said they liked the ginger one. I saw a lemon one, and then I found the ginger one, so I got the ginger one.
Oh, good.
That's what they said that they wanted.
This is the one I've seen people drinking as well.
Yes, it's cool.
Now we're back to you, live streaming. So you see how it's going to work, or maybe not.
Maybe not.
Or maybe not. We're hoping at the end of this we'll have a sort of compressed version of this video that we can put up onto YouTube while you guys are on the live stream. Somebody just did a super chat. I think Michelle will go and check it. And then I've just got to say something I forgot to camera.
Thank you, Belle Alice.
Thank you, Belle Alice. You've paid for my drink. Beautiful.
Beyoğlu, more like the pronunciation.
No, Beyoğlu, I understand. I want to know the name of the Gazuzu.
And Cheap Shop's obviously very hot here. I went out to film a video today. It was too hot.
Yeah, it's warm here.
Says hi, Steve and Michelle.
Let me finish this quickly off, Michelle.
Sorry.
So we've got. So we have pretty much two of everything, but I'm going to give this a try. I'm not going to put this into a glass. I'm going to. We've got glasses all over the place otherwise, so I'll give this a try as is. And this is my first taste. Oh, it's ginger beer.
Okay, I did think it.
I won't open it. You try that.
Yeah.
Have my coronavirus.
I'll share.
It's like a Bundy ginger. Ginger ale, maybe.
I think more ginger ale. Ginger ale.
Oh,
not too fizzy. I know. Not too fizzy.
Right. This is
very
for,
nice,
for friends back in Australia. This is like a Bundy ginger ale, ginger beer. Very good. This would be nice. Poured over ice.
Yep.
A little bit of Angostura bitters in there. You couldn't beat it.
Yeah, delicious.
Absolutely delicious.
I imagine the lemon one would be quite nice as well. You can get a natural. I don't know what natural is, just soda probably.
Yeah, a bit of lemon would be nice.
Yep.
the next drink, and the drink that Michelle is probably going to drink during this, is, let me grab it off the side. This is Sutash. It's ayran. Well, it's ayran basically. It's a yogurt, sort of yogurt-based drink. And just bring that in there, up to the B-roll camera as well. We can get B-roll later on.
Afterwards. Well, on these
Ladies
ones,
and
but some of
jelly
these are maybe not open.
No, we can't get B-roll on the stuff we've eaten. So.
Got to be careful.
Ayran is the national drink of Turkey, as far as I can tell. It is basically a yogurt drink, and if you have this out in the restaurants, it's put through a sort of like a hose pipe into, for want of another word, a pipe into ayran, and it foams. It has a beautiful foamy sort of head on top. So what I did earlier on, I got a straw and I blew bubbles into a glass. No, I didn't. And I made a glass for Michelle. So here is a glass of ayran.
I have been enjoying the ayrans here.
No, I think I'm staring into that. So what I'm going to do is ask you to move that round. Just move that out.
Okay,
Yes.
I know what you're
so
saying.
what I'm going to do is I'm staring off camera here. I know I'm doing it, and I don't want to. So one of the mistakes a lot of vloggers make is to keep the camera facing out to you.
The screen on the camera.
And it's the worst thing, because then all I'm doing is looking like, even though it's only a little bit offset, you're always looking away from the audience, and you should be looking at the audience. And it's frustrating. So I've asked Michelle to turn it away. I thought I could get away with it, but I think I was making a mistake. And now I'm looking straight into the eye of the lens. It's much easier. So here's an ayran that I made earlier for Michelle. There you go, sweetheart.
Thank you. I try this one.
Now we've had a lot of ayran since we've been here in Turkey, so it's really nothing super special.
But this one's a different one, I think, isn't it? A different brand?
No, this is actually the brand that we have in the little
pots. Well, there you go. I like
so
this one.
I'm going to go and try not to pour it all over the sweets. I'm going to have a glass as well, without the foam. It's a little bit salty.
Yep.
Now people say to me it isn't the same, but it is very, very similar to a lassi in India.
A salty lassi.
Really, really good drink. I'm not sure about mixing it with this, whether it'll curdle. What do you think, live streamers? Am I going to curdle that? Am I going to sort of end up going, am I going to, maybe? Here we go, cheers.
Cheers. So it's a consistent, little bit thicker than milk, not a really, really thick yogurt, and it's slightly salty, and it's delicious. I love it. I love it.
It's a really, really good drink. And it's going to be a great way of just taking the edge off the sweetness of everything we've got in front of us. Back to you, live streamers. I'm going to put that bottle of fizz out the way, because I'm going to probably stick with the ayran, and I'm actually going to top it up already, because
it will cut through the sweetness, I hope.
It'll cut through. Do you want yours topped up?
Yeah, why not?
So I put bubbles on top of Michelle.
Yes.
If you have this actually out...
Can you see the bubbles?
There's a few bubbles there.
There's a few bubbles.
If you have this actually out in the restaurants here, not in front...
I know, I'm just seeing where it will bubble.
Oh,
It's
okay.
too light.
I thought you were standing in front of the camera.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it in front of the camera, just there.
So if you actually have this in the store, it's like a thick foam on top. Really,
yes.
it comes almost...
And it sort of hangs even on the outside of the cup.
It foams out of the glass. Looks really, really nice. So we've started our... I can relax a bit when I'm chatting with you guys, even though the cameras are still rolling. We'll probably not use these clips. So we've started the food taste with a drink. Normally we have a lot more savoury going on here, but today it's a lot of sweet. And I want to thank everybody, by the way, particularly my friends here in Istanbul and Turkey, different parts of Turkey, that have suggested these sweets. We're going to have a ball.
Even in the supermarkets that we went into, because we've got to know them. You were asking the guys, and they will come in and helping us, weren't we?
Yeah, and they were telling us what they liked as kids. I end up getting these little, I don't know what you would call them, but they're like a little soda pop. Oh, I don't know. Is that upside down?
No, I think it's the right way.
I don't move them all. No, I was trying to remember exactly where I put them for continuity purpose.
See?
Now she's messed it up now. Now it's going to, on the camera, the B-roll camera, they're going to go like that. But it doesn't matter. We'll get round that with some Photoshop specialties.
Or you're very good editing.
Yes, I might have to change the angle of the shot slightly. So, what shall we go with next? I feel like several people have suggested this. I'm not going to touch them at the moment because I want to touch them in camera. Camera still rolling?
Yes. Yes.
Leading you guys.
Check.
No, it's
Yes.
good. It's good. She's nervous.
Well, that's usually my job when I'm up in front of the camera. I can keep an eye on it. It's still rolling, you see.
So, off a live stream, serious faces, back to mainstream.
Look in that one.
Next up, I fancy something a little bit sweeter, and a lot of people have said about this chocolate bar. I don't know the correct.
The connect.
See, now I'd have to do another shot of that because I correct pronunciation. Can I cut through that, or do I have to do the whole thing again?
You can start from I don't know because there was a gap.
I don't know what the correct pronunciation of this chocolate bar is, but it does look delicious. And to you guys, back up there, back to you guys, one to the camera. It seems to be a La Viva.
Looks a bit like a Dove chocolate, don't you think?
It does. It's got a Dove chocolate look to it.
Yeah.
So, but maybe an aero filling.
Possibly.
So just go back to you guys in the live stream here. How good does that look? And I don't know if it's, yeah, I think it's a sort of bulbous shape on one end. Back up to the main camera. So it's about the size of a Bounty, perhaps. I don't know if it's got a special filling. Let's just come down to camera here. A little tear. We'll tear that open. Does that look good on camera?
Yeah.
Be quiet, you lot.
One sec.
Silence. We're live. Keep your noise down. So just pull that out.
It's actually shaped, isn't it?
So it's actually like a bone-shaped chocolate. Interesting looking thing. Let me put it to the main camera there. Pop it down for the live streamers. Hello. What do you think? What do you think? Do you want a bite? Do you want a bite?
Shall I bite first?
We're actually going to argue who's going to bite first. So open your own, Michelle.
Thank you.
We'll have one together. We're going to go on 1, 2, 3 and
Okay.
try these.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smells of chocolate.
Smells of chocolate.
Smells of chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Mmm.
Got a biscuit in it.
Mmm.
Didn't expect that.
Oh, that's nice.
Really good.
Mmm. Mmm.
Mm. This is where I want to talk to you guys, but I've got to talk to this one.
See?
No, I can go back away. I'm filming.
Die.
I want to cut away some of the chocolate there so I can speak, because it's a rich, dark, sort of almost like a Nutella.
It's like a ganache, do you think, maybe?
Yeah, chocolate ganache, but a biscuit inside, but it's actually a malted biscuit, I
Yeah.
think, or a
Yeah.
chocolate malted biscuit, and then the whole thing is covered in chocolate. So I always make comparisons to things that we know from back home. So I'd say the biscuit is a little bit like a Tim Tam
I was
biscuit,
thinking Tim Tam.
that it's got a dark, rich chocolate ganache on there and then coated in milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
That is for the win. That's a really nice piece of kit. I like that.
Go in for a second one.
If I eat all this, we're going to be in a right mess. So I'll give that to Michelle. We'll pop those in the fridge. Have those when they're a bit firmer.
Shall I see who's been chatting?
Michelle's going to go over and check the chats. Just stop the filming for a moment on both of them. So what do you think of this style of video? Because I think we're just stupid actually to do this, because it's going to be quite hard, and the edit's going to be quite hard. but it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. And if it doesn't go well, at least we've got a nice live stream and a chat with you guys out of it.
So Paul in Ireland says hi.
Hello, Paul.
And Sarah says it's our traditional drink after raki. I think that's maybe the Iran. It's a traditional drink after.
Yes, I think at one time somebody had said to me it was kind of like the national drink, but I think, you know, when you think that raki is an alcoholic drink in a country where drinking is not is a little bit frowned upon, I suppose this is maybe a more potentially politically correct drink.
So Rena says yum. Kimberly Stewart says yum. You're making me hungry.
Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Rena.
Paul in Ireland says she's making me feel hungry. The Irish Celt says hi. All great vid, not stupid. And Paul in Ireland says I like this style of streaming.
Good.
You're natural and it's beautiful, says Kimberly.
Me.
Yes, you, of course, dear.
So, Michelle thinks she's got to sit down. She's got to go back up now and do the cameras.
Are we ready?
Yeah,
You
we'll
decided
do
which
that
one you're doing?
What would you like us to do? You can't see, can you? I would say, would you like sweet or savoury? But it's pretty much sweet and sweet. We're going to probably save the little bit of savour we have till we're actually sort of like in sugar shakes. And then we might...
we go with one of these?
Michelle, stop picking it up.
Sorry.
It wasn't that way up.
I know.
You can tell she's not done these live streams. So I've got the camera running over here, and so straight away, should we go with one of these? She's talking to you guys, and now the camera that's there.
Yes. It's messed up again.
If she does it again.
Pick it up.
I'll tell you what. What should we go for next? Michelle's already ruined it on the live stream. She's picked it up already. So we are going to go for one of these. But you can have that one.
That one?
These are a marshmallow. Good recovery, by the way. These are a marshmallow biscuit. I think they're Actually, I say they're marshmallow.
Somebody said they were. That's why we got them. They're called
So
puffs.
this is called a puff. I'll hold that to camera. Now my puff
Your puff.
is a white puff. Michelle, show your white puff. Your puff is a pink puff.
My puff is a pink puff. See? Pink puff.
Okay.
But we've also got other puffs.
And we've also got a speckled puff. Now, when you buy these puffs in the shop, you get a couple of puffs. It's all getting a bit tricky at the moment. You got a couple of puffs that actually there are about, when you go to take one off the shelf, there are about 12 of them all stuck together in a line. So it's like, you know, they're about 50 cents, maybe a little bit less than that each. But when you go to pull one out, the whole line of them comes out. So it's sort of basically saying, buy me all. But we decided to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to go with the plain puff, the one that was recommended to me. Michelle's going for a pink puff.
A pink puff. I think it will be raspberry. I think it will be raspberry.
So, little peel. Oh, look, there's some sort of, I think, win. You probably win something.
Probably win something, but we're not going to win anything. It's probably upside down.
Really worried about you knocking that drink over.
No, I know it's there.
There for the live streamers, there's some sort of sticker. Have we won anything? Probably not. So there's a label on the inside. I don't know if it's for you to win something. So you've got a cookie. Just hold that to B-roll camera.
Mine smells of strawberry.
Let me just get some B-roll there on that camera, Michelle. Keep the noise down in the
Tap it. It's
background.
going.
No, I think it's good.
It's all right.
It's good.
Should I do my pink one?
Yeah. To twist it to show the biscuit base. No, just like this. Look, out of the way. Just like this, and then to there. So you show the biscuit. You don't have to roll it all the way over. She's learning. Now, I'm going to guess that when I bite...
Let me smell yours.
Now, hang on, I'm looking down at this camera. Be quiet, you guys. This is hard. I've got 3 cameras to look at. I'm going to guess that there is a strawberry jam in the middle of this, and I'm probably wrong, but if this was in Australia, we'd definitely have strawberry jam in the centre. So let's bite together, Michelle.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh no, I've got strawberry jam in mine.
Be quiet, you lot down now. No strawberry jam. Come back to real world.
Well, I have. I've done that one, though.
Yeah, but I'm talking. You can't talk to them about it while you're showing the live stream. I'll deal with the live stream.
Okay.
You deal with what we're doing up here.
This could get complicated.
This is
I'm
gonna be
still
hard.
learning, you see.
If I'm going to you, then no, and she's down there going, who's that down there? Sort of like the sort of lonely cousin in the corner that we're trying to show stuff to. Now, that's not fair. Look, Michelle has got packed full of strawberry jam, and mine's plain.
What did yours smell of? Because mine's really...
Boring.
Oh, yours is coconut. You smell mine.
Oh, like raspberry.
Luckily,
Raspberry?
we've got 2 of each one, so you can get one of these as well.
That's super disappointing. I want strawberry jam. Oh, it's literally, look, strawberry jam. Oh, yum. That should be in the middle of that one. Rubbish. So what's going to be in the middle of the one that's covered in hundreds of thousands?
It's like, it's rainbow,
of sprinkles.
I think it's a rainbow
If
one.
this one hasn't got jam in the middle, then it's going, the other one's going in the bin.
You're going to be so upset.
See if I can get it open to start with. So I probably won nothing again.
It's probably a good game.
Let me try this one quickly.
Does it smell?
Just smells like mine. I don't think this is going to be nothing
Ah,
again.
he's got a nothing one. He's got a nothing one. You've got to go for the pink ones
You can have that.
later.
Boring. I want the strawberry jam one.
He's opening that one as well.
I'll save it.
I would.
I'll save it. Sorry about you guys down there. I'll save it. I'm covered in stickiness now. So we're going to have a little break. Stay there a minute. I just want to wash. I've got crumbs and
Turn off.
those ones you can turn off, yeah.
He's covered in crumbs and he's all sticky. I just licked my fingers. He's had to go and have a real wash. It's really sweet. Got to let you in now.
We're back. We're back. Oh, that was disappointing. Now, if we hadn't have bought the strawberry one, which is this one here.
That's what Mert says. I think only the pink ones and the caramel ones have filling in. We didn't get a caramel one.
Then I highly recommend. Was that nice, that pink one?
It was nice, yes.
Without a biscuit with marshmallow on the top. What's the name of that in it as an English recipe? There's an old name.
There
for that,
is.
isn't
There is. Can't remember though.
Shall I go and check it quickly? Go on, Google it. What's a marshmallow covered biscuit? Not a Florentine. Anyone else remember the name? Not a fondant fancy, but that should have jam in it. So those other two not to have jam in. That's a big thumbs down for me. I might say that to camera actually. Don't worry. Just run this camera. Is this camera filming?
No. Not that one yet?
Yeah. Keep. Might as well have them both running.
Yes.
So, to me, to have this one here with jam inside is a big thumbs up, but to have this plain one with nothing inside is a big thumbs down. I just don't think that's worth tuppence a halfpenny. This is the one to buy. Filling all the way, no filling, no win.
There we go.
Which Mert is that? Not
No.
no. We've got a couple of Merts on the go at the moment, juggling with you, Mert. Good to have you in, mate. So the next, should we go for next?
I'm not touching anything.
I
I've got
know,
my
but you
hands.
can actually point without.
The little pink cola things.
Okay, all right. Got pink cola things.
Big cola things.
They're all wrecked anyway. She's throwing them all over the place.
Well, that's why we need to get rid of them now.
So next up, we're going to have something sweet because pretty much everything is sweet. And Michelle wants to have these little pink cola. We think they're colas. It's probably a Turkish delight covered in chocolate.
Well, it's got a blackberry and mulberry on it. So maybe
But I think it's a Turkish delight. Does anyone in the live stream want to hazard a guess Looks like a Turkish delight to me.
Did you do it up to the big camera?
Yeah. And down. I did it down to this camera.
I saw you do.
So this one really interests me. This is one I chose just because I thought it looked good. Let's open it up, take a look inside. I think it's going to be like a jelly or a Turkish delight.
Chocolate again.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, and it's shaped like a cola bottle. Oh no. When it came out, I thought the top half of it was like a cola bottle. But the bottom half's like that as well.
So it's a little bit like lips, maybe. It smells good. It smells like raspberry or strawberry. Oh yeah. That's a pretty firm jelly inside.
So sort of like a Turkish delight.
It's like a Turkish delight, like a fries Turkish delight, but more
Sweet.
But its flavour's more like strawberries or raspberries or something.
It's probably meant to be blackberries, I reckon.
I think this is either blackberries or mulberries.
I like that one.
Yum. That's very good.
Just big enough, not too much. I like that.
I'm gonna keep a little bit.
Can't eat it all though.
I could.
Yeah, but then you won't want your
But
so sugared.
I might end up regretting it.
Moving it out of the way because it was in the way.
I feel like I'm sat sideways to this camera.
Don't know. You're all right.
So this
That one.
Because we're set up for the big cameras.
Be good. What should we go for next?
Now I think, Michelle, next we should go for the one that almost every Turkish person has said to me is very Turkish. This one here.
Okay.
Now I know it's more chocolate, but I'm told it's possibly like a nugget.
Everybody said this, didn't they?
Tadeli. Tadeli or Tadale? Anyone in the live stream want to pronounce that for me? This one, over and over again, Turkish friends said, is a real traditional chocolate. I've got a feeling from what they've said, it's a nugget or nougat.
It's chocolate covered.
We've got two of them. So we've got, sorry, it's not to you guys. So we've got a white or cream package, and we've got the red, the more traditional red package. I believe this is quite an old, it goes back many years, so it's a really old-fashioned Turkish treat. You want to go for the white one, Michelle?
I'll go for the white.
While you open that,
It is white.
I'm going to tuck in.
No, not what you thought?
No, look.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not nugget. See, my one's a white one.
This could not be further from nugget.
Oh.
It's the same.
The same inside.
This is really nice. This is like,
Nutty.
it's like hazelnuts. It's like Nutella, call it what you like, but
Crunchy,
like
crunchy Nutella.
yeah, like a praline Nutella. It reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it. Go on then. Similar.
Similar.
Very similar. I like this a lot. I can see why. I can see why my Turkish friends love this. Really good.
I think almost everybody mentioned this, didn't they?
It reminds me of. Sorry, camera. It reminds me greatly of something, but I can't think what.
No, I get the Nutella, but crunchy. They like the crunchy peanut butter.
Little piece of hazelnut in there, with a bit of a bite, with a milk chocolate.
I actually
on the
like
outside.
the white chocolate one. I think it actually cuts through a little bit better than,
Do you think so?
than this one.
I like this one. I think if I had the choice, we'd probably pick the right one.
We
You
probably did.
like your white
Yeah.
chocolate.
But this is the more popular one. Everybody
Absolutely. So this one, 100% for the win. We should be scoring them, but we're not. We're probably not going to.
No scores today.
No scores today.
Throw that one away.
So Michelle can put those over on our tray over there.
Let's get rid of these as well.
Right, this is where the iron comes in. Just to cut through some of that chocolate. Got to do that to camera again because Michelle's back. This is where the iron comes in because it just sort of cuts through that sweet chocolate with a little bit of saltiness.
This was a good choice.
Really nice. Okay.
Cake.
Cake. We can have our cake and eat it. We've got two here. That one's from Michelle.
I wanted the lemon one.
Oh, why did we buy two different ones? We'll share it.
We're sharing.
This is a pop cake. A pop cake. Etty pop cake.
A lot of Etty stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, there are two big brands over here. There's Etty and there is Ulka.
Yes.
Or Ulka. So this is some sort of sponge cake, if I can make it open.
Oh.
Oops. No, that's resealed itself. I pulled it that way around. It's resealed itself. Okay. Now, let's just put that to camera.
So yours is lemon, isn't it?
And to that camera as well.
Mine is chocolate.
Now, a lot of Americans out there will probably recognise the concept of this. Does anyone want to have a guess?
I think I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say? What would you, in the US, would you say? Let me just get my little duster, because it looks misty, that camera. Go back. What would you say that reminds me of? And even the smell, that's a lovely smell, lemony.
Oh, yes, yours is much, look.
Yeah, that's quite plain. Is that coconut, chocolate
Well,
coconut?
I got coconut. I don't know if it's chocolate. Yes, it is. It's a coconut one. So, yes, you can smell the coconut.
Anyone going to have a guess? Has anyone said?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's turn it
From
off.
I'll check in a minute. They're all going to say in a minute.
Not honey buns. Something much more famous than honey buns. So it looks to have like an icing, like a lemon icing.
And I've got like chocolate.
Okay.
And then it's a sponge.
It's a sponge cake, but a fairly firm, processed sort of sponge cake.
Nothing inside but sponge.
Sponge. Sponge, 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 sponge,
The
sponge.
processed sponge. That's okay.
Is it okay?
It's okay. Doesn't get a thumbs up, but it certainly doesn't get a thumbs down.
It's a bit dry.
You've got lemon in the middle of yours.
It doesn't taste that lemony.
It's more smell than taste, isn't
Smells
it?
better than it tastes. Oh, do I have to?
You do. I had to. Sponge.
It's sponge.
I wouldn't rave about these. Not my favourite.
If a sponge cake is your number one pleasure in life, to camera.
I am.
If sponge cake is your number one pleasure in life, then the pop cake by Etty is the way to go. But for me, I really need something savoury, Michelle. I need something savoury now.
Let's get rid of these.
Did anyone have a guess, Michelle, at what I was...
Oh. Okay, honey bun, no idea. Twinkie. Rena said Twinkie.
Well done, Rena. That's exactly what I was thinking. They're a little bit like Twinkies. Is that what you were thinking of?
Yes, yes. But I think they're more firm than Twinkies.
They're a little firmer than Twinkies, a little bit more sponge cake, a bit more pound cake than Twinkies, but equally as disappointing. I think the first time I ever had Twinkies in the US, and I was expecting something really quite amazing, and forgive me in the US if you find Twinkies amazing, I was so disappointed. they were the most processed sort of pappy food that I think I've ever had. But I can understand growing up with that sort of thing as a sort of staple. It might be good, but no, I didn't like Twinkies much.
Which savoury one we're going for?
I don't know, but I just need savoury, and I think we've only got 2. So we're going for these Gracks. Daha Panirali. I can't pronounce it, so I'll hold it up for you guys to have a read. I know that this means cheese.
So judging by the picture, it's a cheese.
Panirali. Panir is cheese. So these are a little bit like what are the
Breadsticks.
Breadsticks. Eti Gracks. That camera. A bit dark, that camera.
Yeah, it is. It's okay when you go like that.
Okay. But I need something savoury, so we're going to open this up. If I can get into it.
Some of them are a bit difficult.
Yeah. I'll shake them out. Like fortune sticks.
I was just going to say, pick up sticks.
2. Oh, that smells cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
3.
But
Wow, that smells so cheesy and tastes almost like nothing.
they've definitely got the smells right, haven't they? They've not quite got them into their product.
Even right here, near your mouth, you can taste cheese because a lot of taste is in your nose.
But there's no cheese actually in the stick, is there?
Not a lot of cheese flavour.
I think it's the brown bit that's on the outside is the cheese bit, but there's certainly nothing inside that.
But I'm happy to have a bit of salt. Happy to have a bit of salt.
They don't taste like a breadstick, do they? They're more.
No, they taste.
I don't know.
They do, what are the famous ones we always have? The Japanese ones.
Oh, yes.
Covered in chocolate.
Pocky.
Pocky sticks. So they've got a similar density to Pocky sticks. And actually, if you dip these in chocolate, they might be closer to a Pocky stick.
I was going to say, like, it's a very thin breadstick, isn't it?
It smells of really like Parmesan cheese and tastes like biscuit.
Probably if you ate a load of them, because you've got the cheese on the outside, then you'd probably get a lot of cheese. But the first 1 or 2, you're certainly not getting any cheese. But okay.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
Certainly cuts through the sweetness.
Now, I bought, for no other reason than I was intrigued by them, a very simple cracker. It looks like a Sesame Cracker, and I wasn't going to have it, but I am going to now because I really want something salty.
Hasn't really got a flavour on there, has it?
These are Altin Basak light crackers.
They're that Ulca again, aren't they?
Made by Ulca. Almost everything on the table is either made by Ulca or by Eti. But look at these crackers.
The shape of was it cheddars?
They look like cheds, yeah. They look almost like cheds.
But maybe a whole wheat, maybe.
Looks like a whole wheat cracker. Just show you guys on the live stream. If only I had a bit of brie or cheddar.
I was thinking.
And a little bit of ploughman's pickle.
It's actually a very nice cracker to go with really nice cheese.
With a good cheese. A good strong cheddar cheese.
Yep.
Crumbly, rich, mature, vintage cheddar. And a bit of pickle. That would be delicious. Yeah. They're not bad.
Nice camembert, runny camembert.
Lovely camembert dipping through there. Oh. But apart, in the absence of cheddar and camembert and pickle, you might as well be eating a cardboard box.
Well, they tasted good because I was imagining the camembert and the pickle.
If you can conjure it up, Michelle, if you can conjure it up, which we can almost do.
Use that imagination.
Right.
We're getting there. We are getting there.
Excuse me.
I was just thinking.
There are a handful of biscuits around the world, well actually not around the world, that always put a smile on my face. One of those biscuits, I'm a bit bitty, aren't I?
Got some water?
No, I'm good. There are a handful of biscuits that always put a smile on my face. One of those biscuits, if I'm back home, are Jammie Dodgers. Now, if I ever see anything anywhere in the world that looks even remotely like a Jammie Dodger,
If the packaging has the Jammie Dodger look on it.
let me show you. If it looks like that, and you hold it there for a minute. If it looks like that on the packet, I'm in like Flynn. I'll buy them in every country in the world, and 99 times out of 100, they're disappointing. They're never as good as a real Jammie Dodger. But I've got some news for you today, because Ulka make a biscuit called the Cremali, and they do them in different flavours, but they do this one with a jam in the centre. And let me open this up because I can explain it to you while I'm actually dribbling over one. And so it's a decent sized package. They don't skimp. That is the biscuit.
With the jam in the middle.
With the jam in the middle. And for you. Let's see if I can get the light.
Thank you. And you can see, it's got cream.
So what makes a good Jammie Dodger? Well, the first thing is the biscuit itself has to be like a shortbread. It has to be melt in the mouth. The cream that's around the jam in the centre can't be too sickly and sweet, all right? And the jam in the middle has to be set, chewy and sweet and very fruity. This thing has got it all apart from one.
He knows his Jammie Dodgers.
I know my Jammie Dodgers.
So what hasn't it got?
Well, it hasn't got a cup of tea to dip it
I was
into.
thinking it's got all the things that you said then.
No, it hasn't. There's one thing it hasn't got.
The jam's not right?
The jam itself in this is like a gelatine. So it doesn't, you can't stretch it like a Jammie Dodger. You couldn't take it out and sort of use it like putty. It's gelatine set. But actually I don't mind that. I think it really works because when you dip these in coffee or tea, the last thing that's in your mouth is that little pellet of raspberry jelly, and it is so delicious. So it hits, or it ticks all the boxes. These are great. Cup of tea, cup of coffee, cup of hot chocolate, dunk them. My friend Mert and I have a principle that this is a mouth-sized cookie. It's one straight in the mouth.
When you dunk, you have to do it in one, otherwise it just, it just integrates. Yeah, it does. See, you can't talk. It's a one mouthful. Mine was 3.
And the beauty is when you dunk it in a hot drink, the whole thing just, because it is a shortbread biscuit, the whole biscuit just melts on your palate. The cream isn't too sweet, and you're left with that little puck of raspberry jelly, which I think is really good. I don't know if I prattle on, don't I, guys?
Am I not meant to agree with you?
So, for those of you at home, if you can get hold of these Cremali raspberry Jammie Dodgers, as I'm going to call them, Turkish Jammie Dodgers, they are a big win. I love them. I think they're great.
The only other place that we probably found really good ones was in Thailand, where they had the little packets of.
They weren't as good.
They were good, but they were tiny, weren't they?
Yeah, they were also. They didn't really have the right balance.
And we've tried other flavours, but we only like the jam and cream ones, like Jammie Dodgers.
What really appealed to me with those ones was the shortbread biscuit. It's a short biscuit. It's not. It melts, and that's what you need. So the next thing, Michelle, I think we should go for the ganga.
Okay.
A little bit of ganga.
We got one each.
One each on the ganga. This one here feels to me a little bit like a lion bar.
Okay, yeah.
Feel it inside.
Okay, yeah.
It's all over the place. It's lumpy, it's bumpy.
A picnic.
Either that or it's been broken and it's just in crumbs inside. A picnic or a lion bar. I don't know if you have anything similar to that where you are. And if I open it up, it's got a very similar texture to a lion bar or a picnic, if I remember. I don't know if they still make picnics.
They do, but they're not as good as they used to be.
So you've got what looks to be like a finger wafer biscuit covered in nuts and chocolate and hopefully some fruit, but I don't think so.
I don't think there's any caramel in there.
Let's go
Does
for
Lion
it.
Bar have a caramel? Mmm.
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 Mmm. That was a bit disappointing.
No, it's quite good. And caramel. No, it's getting better.
I think it's more caramel than biscuit. I don't actually think there's any biscuit. I think it's caramel. Do you think?
That is getting better because the caramel, there's a caramel toffee now and I'm chewing on it.
I was disappointed initially because I thought it should be more crisp and crunchy, but there isn't actually biscuit in there. It's more caramel, so actually it is okay.
The only thing I would add to this to make it perfect would be some fruit, some cranberries, some raisins, little bits of apricot. We just cut through the chocolate, but
nice.
this is really nice. This is a ganga by
Etty. Another Etty one. This was
Another
another
Etty one.
popular one, wasn't it?
Big pieces of peanut inside. Very good. Thumbs up for that one. See if there's any comments, Michelle. Just have a little look. Yeah, let's pause for it. Let's have a break.
Have a break.
Have a Kit Kat.
Have a Kit Kat. Oh.
Oh God, right now. You know, I was just thinking the same. Michelle said, have a break, and we're both looking at each other like that. The last thing I could eat on earth at the moment would be a Kit Kat.
So Rita said, do they make anything resembling a granola bar? Anything with nuts, honey?
Yes, they do. And it wasn't until very small ones, Rena, made by one of these two companies again, Etty. It's like a granola bar. I haven't tried it, and I haven't got it because it wasn't one of the things recommended to me by the crew out there.
Mert says Cracks has introduced a lot of new flavours recently. I think that's the cheesy stick things that we had. And Atterberg says cheesy ones is the worst Cracks. You should try. Hang on, the spicy one. I think the spicy ones, the one we've had them on. They weren't that make though. We had those spicy ones. They were quite nice.
So I got the worst one cheesy, did I? That'd be about right.
And Rena said, for the record, I'm not a fan of Twinkies.
I didn't want to knock America's emblem there, Rena, but I did find Twinkies a little bit disappointing. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things left to try, everybody. So we won't be much longer. Michelle gets herself into gear. So cheeky.
I'm the camera woman as well, you see.
I know.
What have we got left to try?
Well, the next thing I think is the Ulka Albeni. Ulka Albeni is actually one I've really been looking forward to. A friend of mine said this was a great chocolate bar. More chocolate. I am getting a little, and I got the 30% extra as well. We haven't got 2 of these, Michelle.
No, because
so you
we
can't
got
have any.
we got the bigger bar, so we could share it.
So we could share it. So this is
A chocolate
what's
one.
that? You were gonna-
I can smell coconut.
you go.
No.
Tell me what you think.
Twix.
It's a Twix, is it?
It's a mega Twix.
It's a big Twix. It looks like a Twix.
Mm. The biscuit is a bit lighter than a Twix. It's not so condensed. It's more airy,
It's
isn't
a
it?
Twix. Mm.
When you start eating it, though, the biscuit's more airy.
Mm.
But it's a Twix when you first bite into it.
Mm. That's not bad.
No,
None of these bars are very expensive, by the way.
no.
They're between 1 and 3 liras each, so I think that's always under $1, maybe under 50 cents in many cases. So not super expensive. Like a Twix, not as nice as a Twix.
No.
In my
The
opinion.
initial first bite, you think, oh, that's nice, but then, yeah, as you bite it more, yeah.
You want any more?
No. I'm getting a sugar high here.
Okay. Just pop on this one now. The next chocolate bar, it's another chocolate bar. The guy in the shop recommended this to me. He was very excited. He wanted us to try it. This is a Tadel?
It's like
Tadeli?
the ones we had, the red and the white one we had before, but it's a different.
Like this one?
No, we had the not that one.
Not that one. So this is a white chocolate covered hazelnut.
Kit
I
Kat.
think it's not a Kit Kat. Well, it is a Kit Kat. Yeah, it's like a Kit Kat. It's a wafer.
Oh no, it's more of a wafer.
So up close there. Battery's running out on that one, Michelle.
Okay, I've got one to go.
So we can get this eaten quickly before. So let's give this a try. Thank you very much for recommending it. Emre, I think it was, in the shop. Thank you very much, mate. Let's give this a go. Want it? I'll go first.
You go
this time.
first. I'll let you.
Straight away, that's very nice.
Yeah.
So I can see why I liked it.
Yeah.
It's almost
It's just got a little bit of chocolate in it, so it's not too
over
much, is
sweet.
it?
White chocolate,
With the wafer.
good firm wafers, and a little bit of hazelnut. Well, maybe hazelnut cream in the
Maybe,
centre.
maybe.
But no, I like that one. We'll save that later on. That reminds me a little bit
Trying to
in
think.
flavour of the wafer in a hanuta, which is one of my favourite biscuits.
Yes. Not quite as good as a hanuta.
Not well. There's a reason it's not as good as a hanuta. It's because it's from my childhood, and I love them.
Get rid of those.
Yeah, get them. Make some space.
Make some space.
Is anyone still watching this? Or right now,
1, 2, 3 left.
I am getting so sugared out. No, I won't be wanting anything for dinner. I probably would. I'd probably go a nice piece of meat or something, or something very savoury.
Definitely nothing sweet.
Okay, let's go for the hoshbash. Hoshbash. These are all over the place. This one, every brand in Turkey makes something similar to this.
And so many flavours, eh?
And so many different flavours. Today I decided to go for the strawberry ones. I thought it was strawberry and cream. It may not be. It may be just strawberries.
So you stayed away from the chocolate and the coconut.
Yeah, they're basically very simple, not expensive, probably about $1 a packet for a big packet like this. And they are just very, oh, that smells so good. That smells so fruity. They are let me just grab those ones out and show you if you can grab some. But it looks like you're grabbing one, but you're actually grabbing two. So I fan those then. You're going to go for one?
Just one.
I have had quite a few of these to try. Never had this particular flavour.
Mm.
Do you like it?
That's a good strawberry. They generally are a good flavour, these, aren't they? We've had a couple of different flavours.
I like these a lot, and they're quite light, so
Yeah.
you can eat these. They're not too sweet either. I'm not getting that.
No, there's no
Sugar
chocolate,
here.
so it's good. It's good.
These are really good.
Mm.
I think you pronounce them
Hush.
hoshbesh. The little S with the marking underneath, I think, makes a sh sound, a sort of sh sound. Did I repeat myself then? I think I did. I can eat these. I can eat a whole packet of these. They're very easy, and the flavours are very good. I wouldn't eat a whole packet after all we've eaten this evening, but they are good.
See, you're managing to eat two there.
I did. You noticed that?
Yeah. No, they are good those. I do like them. We've had the coconut ones, and I did like the coconut ones, but this is actually a very nice strawberry flavour.
It is quite subtle.
Yes, but not too artificial.
No.
No. One left, two left.
One.
Two. It died.
Stop the one at the top of the hand. Oh, I get to have a pause and a chat with you because the battery has run out on one of the cameras.
Little one, I'm just gonna.
Oh, can you feel it? I am feeling very, very sugared out.
Save the gongs till last because they might be less.
You think so? I was going to gong first. And
We can gong first then.
I'm hoping the gongs are not too sweet. Does anybody know these gongs? They're honey and mustard. They're basically a rice cracker. And I was really looking forward to them, but right now, I'm not sure I want anything with honey in it.
My salad will go down a tree. Okay.
Who's in? What's been going on? We'll do another live stream, just a regular one, where we can have a chat with you in more detail in the next couple of days.
So Mert says gong is a salty one, and he says there's a tahini flavoured hoshbesh in some stores. Very nice if you're into the sesame taste. So Arthur Larson says, snacks.
Snack.
And Rena says this is too many treats at once.
Arthur,
It is, Rena.
it is snacks. Yes, Rena, it is too many at once.
Whenever we do these, they always look like they're good fun when we watch them back, but by the end of them, we're sort of.
You can eat too much sweet stuff, you know. Both cameras rolling?
Oh, no.
Let's see if we can wrap this up as quickly as possible now. See if I can get some B-roll, and then we'll have a chat with you. Have a quick tidy up of the table, and we'll have a chat.
Okay, and we're going.
Okay, we're coming to the end of this sweet marathon of treats, and I'm going to be second to last with the Etty. This is a pistachio milk chocolate, and I know this very well because I think this is one of my favourite chocolates here in Turkey. And ordinarily, I'd be absolutely gagging to get some of this.
This has been your lockdown chocolate.
Yeah, this is my lockdown chocolate of choice. So you've got this square, it looks like a Ritter Sport. When you open it up, the inside is beautifully coloured, sort of floral print.
Could use that as wrapping paper, couldn't you?
Good Christmas. Oh,
Quick,
we've thrown
save
so
that.
many of those away. What a waste.
Oh, I know.
What a waste. And then you end up with a sort of foil wrapped chocolate, very similar to the Ritter Sport. Run your nail down if you've got nails. If you bite your nails and you've just got little fleshy stubs, tough luck, you'll have to find another way of opening it. And then you can break off a line, or as I like to call, a portion.
You're going to give me one of your bits of your portion.
And
They do this in a dark chocolate, don't they?
and they do it in lots of different
Yeah,
flavours.
yeah.
Michelle particularly likes there's a
Dark chocolate with orange peel. It's delicious.
It is good. I would say, you know,
Just one.
yeah, just one piece is enough, because the way I like to eat this actually, and I'll just give Michelle a piece, the way I like to eat this, these little chocolate cubes are chock-a-block with pistachio nuts. If you put them onto your mouth and you just suck it, which I'm not going to do this time.
I was going to say we've got to suck it now.
No. You end up with a mouthful of pistachios. It can be up to 3 whole pistachios in a block of
In a
chocolate.
little cube.
Very good. Really delicious. Highly recommend that. That wasn't recommended to me by any other viewer, by the way. That was just that was the one I decided to throw in.
And we nearly forgot to get it. He suddenly said, "Oh, I haven't got my favourite chocolate."
And I thought I was so clever. And now I just wish I'd got anything but more chocolate. Which brings me to the last product on the table, the gong. Gong. We might have a gong to end the show. I've been told these are honey and mustard flavoured. They look like a rice cracker.
So they technically could be savoury, but I think they're going to be a bit sweet with the honey.
Let me just show you them.
Oh yeah.
They're quite yellow in colour. Oh, there you go. Live streamers. We'll have plenty to show you in a minute. There you go, Michelle. Do you want to help yourself?
Yep, just like a rice cracker.
Just like our rice crackers that we have.
Smell the mustard on it.
That we have back in Australia, with all sorts of crazy flavours, and the gongs also have all sorts of interesting flavours. I decided to go with honey and mustard. I bet you're glad I did.
I don't like mustard.
She doesn't like mustard, which is a great shame, because it means I get the whole packet to myself.
I'm going to try it.
And
I'm
she
going
has
to eat it.
And she has to be suffering it online. Tell me if you taste the mustard.
No.
That's nice.
It's nice, but there's no mustard in that. It smells vinegary, mustardy, but no, there's no mustard aftertaste.
There is. I think she likes mustard.
Maybe it's the honey has just sort of made it more subtle. You can get mustard in that.
I get mustard, like a Dijon mustard, fairly mild.
No, these are quite nice actually as a rice cake goes.
That's a bit of a shame. Are you sure? It's very mustardy.
I get no mustard, and I like the texture of this rice cracker. So yeah, they're quite a nice packet of rice crackers there, the gongs.
Yeah, very nice.
You seriously get mustard in that?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't.
So on that gong note, this isn't for you guys, by the way.
We're not ending it here.
We're carrying on down there. We're going to wrap it up. It's been a lot of fun. I think we might try and do another Turkish snacks and try and do maybe more traditional Turkish foods coming up soon on Steve's Kitchen. We will do that.
He doesn't know where he's going.
Know where I'm going with
He's
this.
got to start again.
Meandering down, you see. So look out for that one in the near future. Be good, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.
Bye.
I think that's where we're going to end it.
I hope so. We can always do an ending.
It might be a bit abrupt. So if it's a bit abrupt, and you watch this later, and I'll just decide to juggle with fire sticks, or I get out my sort of twirling baton or something, you know, you'll know I decided otherwise. They're nice.
I like those.
We can sit and snap these while we talk to you about, and when we come down off our sugar high.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, I love one. If I had a cup of tea there, I might start dunking my...
Well, I'll move the biscuits, then you can just have
Biscuits.
those. Do you want tea or coffee?
Are you having one?
I might have a coffee. Oh no, I'll drink with my Iran. What do you want?
I think it's too late for coffee. I think I'll have tea.
Yeah, tea. Okay.
Hello.
Now I'll just remove all these sweet temptations out your way. There we go.
Okay. Let me just clear the side so we can have a chat. Are there still some people in, or has everyone gone to sleep?
Everyone gone to bed.
There you go. All tidy.
Hey, take that. Because it's all under there.
Yeah, no, that was my one though.
Right. End to that. I don't know whether that was a good idea or not,
Bit of fun.
but it was a bit of fun. And where did that go?
That's mine.
I was just taking that. I just had my hand on one of those little cheesy sticks, and I pinched my fingers together. It was gone. What's she like? How rude. So these mustard ones are quite nice, guys and girls.
Did we miss any? Should we have got something else? Anybody in? Something else.
There were a few things mentioned on Facebook that I couldn't find. So apologies if you suggested a chocolate that I couldn't find. Had we planned this a little more carefully, I think I would have tried to mix that up with some savouries. There aren't many brands in our local supermarket that aren't American, like Lay's and things like that. And I think if I could have got to maybe a BIM supermarket, BIM, I would have found some Turkish brands of salted snacks and things. So yeah, we maybe do something else. But I think if we do something again on this style, we won't live. We might live stream it, but probably not.
Well, we'll see how it turns out.
True. So let me bring you up here a little bit closer. How are you all? Throw those comments, suggestions. I've never done anything like that before, and I've got a feeling what we filmed will be close to useless. So you may never see this video see the light of day other than this live stream. But it doesn't matter. It's a bit of fun in these trying days, and it still is a bit trying, to be honest. We've had
With the iron.
Thank you.
We've had more regulations here. Now in Turkey, they want us to wear masks all the time, everywhere on the streets. I won't be doing it. Good to have a change.
There you go.
Michelle's going to go through the comments now and just have a quick catch up. If any of you want to ask anything about what we've been up to, if any of you want to tell us what you've been up to. Eric, you missed everything, my friend. You'll have to watch it from the beginning, Eric. It's been quite an interesting live stream, very, very different than our normal live streams. We just tried to film an episode of the Steve's Kitchen taste test.
So Arthur says, what sort of tea is that? I'm having an American Yao-Hon holly tea from Florida. What tea have you got? I can't remember. Did you go for your regular breakfast tea?
I've got a mouthful.
I know.
Half that cracker broke off. It's just a strong. I can show you what tea. Michelle can bring it over. It's nothing special. This one is extra dem. It's a Lipton's extra dem. I believe it's the Turkish style of. It's just a tea bag, nothing overly special, but quite nice. It's a strong tea. You don't have to. Some of these brands, like Lipton's and whatever the other brands are that make tea nowadays, I find them a little bit weak and a little bit bland. Whereas that's the only one I've found in our local store that's got some strength. It's closer to the the Turkish tea, which I do like. So it's that. What is extra dem? Maybe somebody from Turkey can tell me what extra dem is. It mean extra strong? Everyone's gone quiet. I've sent you all to sleep.
Yeah.
We've actually got a lot to talk about, but I don't think I can do it at the end of that, unless someone's got some questions. We have got a lot we'd like to talk about, but I think we'll probably talk about it in another, and maybe over the weekend coming up. We've got some more curfews, typical Turkish curfews between 7:15 in the afternoon and 9:15 and, you know, whatever, 3.5 hours of curfews. The regulations are starting to get a little tiresome, a little tedious, you know. I think at the moment we have to go out in the streets with one trouser leg rolled down and the other one rolled up, a sandal on one ear and one in your mouth. So it's all making about as much sense. And I think we're all a little bit at the stage now we just want to get on with life and do our own things and stop being bullied by our governments and told what we can and cannot do.
So Eric would like to know what's growing in the pot behind you.
Wouldn't you like to know, Eric? Probably fungus. I'd say fungus, a little bit of mildew, and a small amount of moss. They're not real, Eric. They're I would call them silk, but that's a little bit too.
No, I'd go plastic.
They're not though. They're fabric.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Shows how much I like.
I call them silk, but that's flouring them a little bit too much. They're a sort of fabric, but they start to go a bit mouldy and a bit daggy. And to be honest, if they weren't nailed down, I'd probably take them out of the window because
They look all right from a
they look
distance.
okay. They look okay from a distance, but they don't look so good up close.
So the urban has any news on your travel plan, perhaps the next step. So that's funny for the next video, yeah?
For our next video, we'll talk about that. It's interesting and not so interesting at the same time. We have been everywhere this last. If we haven't been on the surface of the moon, we've been everywhere. We've been cycling across South America. We've been motorbiking back to Australia. We've been backpacking from here to France. We've been buying a van and converting it into a travelling van. We've been going back home. Everything. None of them have come to fruition, but we would like to talk to you about it a bit more because we do take what our friends here on YouTube fairly seriously, and it does help us decide. It's interesting looking out my window some days.
So Rena says IKEA silk.
I think you might be right there, Rena. There's a lot of IKEA around here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
from the nylon worm, the famous nylon spinning worms of China. So we've got some good plans, some good things to film over the next week. But like a lot of people who do what we do, we're all getting a bit tired of running over the same old, and that's why we thought we'd do this today. And I'm hoping from this we'll actually make a decent snack video. But we'll see. I don't know how that went, and a lot will.
Some of it will be alright. Just depends whether each segment ends properly.
Who said it's an IKEA knife? What does that?
Yeah, Rena says the IKEA knife is the best.
IKEA knife, Rena. You know what I think of my IKEA knife.
That's why she said it.
I know, she's teasing me.
She is.
The sharpest part of my IKEA knife is the back end.
You do have to sharpen it frequently.
Yeah. So, how is everyone getting on? Michelle and I, as you can see, are still in our apartment here in Istanbul. We can travel throughout Istanbul at the moment, but we're not choosing to do so at the moment. We have got some clearer ideas when we have to be out of Turkey. Again, I won't discuss that just at the moment because it's not set in stone. Oh, I'm coming down off a sugar high.
That's a lot of sugar, isn't it?
Mm.
Sue John said you did good on making this live.
Who said that?
Sue Johns.
Thank you, Sue.
It was a lot more preparation for a live than we normally do, wasn't it?
Hmm.
And also because it was so overcast and wet, wasn't it? We actually rearranged the whole set.
Well, also, Michelle wasn't going to be in it until about 5 minutes to kick off because we felt that she would be better off in the background reading the questions. And then we thought, well, she might as well be in it. I know you guys like to see Michelle in it as well. And so we had to suddenly panic and change the whole set around, our Hollywood studio here.
We went more for the natural light, didn't we?
And it was lighting up until about 2 hours before we started. You couldn't see in here. It was dark, like the clouds were full. The sky was full of clouds, black, almost like storm clouds. So this whole area where I was sat in, you can see the light on the side of my face. There was no light here at all, and we were struggling because we would have had to use a different lens, and that lens would let more light in. But if the sun came back, it would have just washed out to white. So,
I mean, you were at the stage where you thought, oh, we'll do the live show, but we just cancel the...
yeah, we had decided to actually do the live show. Come and sit, Michelle. You might as well come and sit over here now. Can you kind of read that if I put space there?
Yeah.
So...
There we go.
So we were at the stage where we were going to actually just come on to the live stream and say to you all, very sorry, we can't do the food test. It's just a disaster, and we have to give up. Just pop that chat out and then move this video out the way. Otherwise, it's a bit distracting. Oh, you talk to everyone.
I will. I will just say, Eric says, is that a rice cake? It is, Eric. It's the only bit of savoury we had. It's mustard and honey. I'm getting it out big enough so you can't see yourself.
I just got a slightly lagged version of me in the corner going.
There you go, you've gone. Sally says you look stuffed. And Marina said, I hope you enjoyed the change of pace of this behind the scenes video because it was really great to see you both live and together.
Mm.
That was it. He stuffed in his mouth, hoping I was going to carry on talking. And I don't do talking. Wash it down. It's good, that. I like that one. Don't very often have that at home.
Thank you, Rena.
So,
We've got some big plans, but we just can't do them.
No.
I mentioned the other day about, I just briefly sort of flirted with the idea. I didn't even really mean it, of getting a camper van and going travelling. And it's funny because I mentioned it, but really wasn't giving it any thought. But obviously somebody, I think it was Anne in the live stream, thought, well, that's a good idea. So she sent me a whole bunch of vans that were for sale around us in Turkey, and said, about 4 different vans that were for sale. And it's a nice idea, but I do we do have other plans really, and I don't think we're at the stage in our lives where we really want to do that. And we know people that do it, and it doesn't really appeal as much as it used to.
Well, not only that as well, we'd have to buy one that was completely kitted out, because we're not at home where we've got able to kit it out, with all the stuff, are we?
Yeah. No, you're not right. I'm going to disagree with myself. I can kit out a van anyway. I'd work out how to do it if I wanted to.
I know, but it wouldn't be easy.
Wouldn't be easy, but I can put my hand to finding. I reach out to people and get the materials and board and get the tools to do it. It wouldn't bother me that much. That's not the reason I don't want to do it.
No.
The reason I don't want to do it is because I don't think we're at that stage in our life where we want to be living in a sort of tiny proximity. It's not really where we want to be at the moment. And we've done it before. We've travelled for quite some time, for over a year, with a family of 3 in a van. We've done that sort of thing, and I know, for example, people often underestimate just how expensive it is to drive. You can end up driving, and so many van life people just drive, and you can end up driving and spending more on fuel than you would do on accommodation, and you're not really getting the same. While it's really popular at the moment, you will find very few people that have done it for more than 4 or 5 years. I know that's probably going to, people tell me, dozens of people, but actually you rarely find people that do it for more than 4 or 5 years. And there's a reason behind that, because you eventually do run out of places to see, and telling everybody that the world outside your sliding van door is your garden. You eventually run out of the enthusiasm for that. I don't say it happens quick, but it happens after some time, and you start to realise that it's not even that inexpensive to do, that actually you could probably rent a really nice apartment in a city somewhere for a fraction of the cost that it costs to run a van. And then you could use probably half the price of what you could do to run a van, and you could use your spare time actually doing things a little more exciting. We are probably the example of people that have done that sort of thing and evolved into realising that actually travelling on a budget is a much more interesting way, and less, a property can be a ball of chain, a van can be a ball of chain. I always remember one guy saying to me how he always felt whenever he had all his belongings, everything that meant anything to him precious in life was in his van, and every time he parked it to go somewhere for a day, like trekking or hiking, he was in constant fear that if somebody took that van, he would lose everything. And it isn't hard to steal a van, or they broke into it. So you have this sort of, that might be something that it didn't bother us. We had thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff in our van when we were travelling with it, and a lot of all our valuable and precious stuff was with us. It doesn't trouble you, but it might do after 3 years or 4 years or 2 years maybe even. So we're not there at the moment.
And we don't like to.
But never say never.
No. We don't like to bounce too much, So when you're in a van, you feel you've got to be moving constantly. And we quite like to experience an area.
Yeah, and we also got to the stage where when we were travelling with our van, we do what we do now. We'd get to a town that we really, really love, and we say, okay, let's spend 4 or 5 months here, or 4 or 5 weeks here. And then we start exploring the area around us, because that's the only really way to experience travelling. Trust me, if you think you can experience travelling by going from town to town to town, you cannot. You'll never get to find a local baker that you can visit for a month. You'll never get to know any little alleyways or walk or anything. You never get to know a place if you're just there for a day or two. You never get to feel like it's your home. So what we were doing is we'd drive the van and we'd arrive somewhere and we'd say, let's stay here for 2 or 3 months because that's the way Michelle and I like to travel. And we'd have this van sort of parked in the driveway. It was never going out, never went anywhere. And we were getting to really, you know, love the place, the areas we're in. So I think for us probably, you know, what we're doing at the moment is the right thing. It's just sometimes getting to A to B could be different. We might cycle there, we might walk there, we might.
We'll see. So Eric says, "Wow, I love the blouse, beautiful colour. This is my new dress that I bought the other week when we were out and about." So.
Yes, she's a great expense to me, Eric. I know. Very pretty. She looks beautiful in that, and the colours. I like the colours.
Yes, Eric said he likes the colours.
Very.
Annie says, "Lol." So I think that was because she said about the vans. And Margie says, "Hello, lovely blouse, Michelle." Hi, Margie.
Still drinking my ayran.
Yes, it's cutting through. It's
So
good.
yes, if you just joined us and you get a chance to watch this later on, you can watch and give me your opinion on the style of snack video that we just made, whether it works. I never watch back the live streams because I've actually watched them right now with you. I can see me there. I never watch them back, so I might have to watch the beginning of this one just to see how it is.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, well, you probably won't because you've got to edit the other one, so you'll see it all on via the other camera.
I'm going to have another one of these. Last one.
I'm stuffed.
They're quite Moorish. These are mustard and honey rice crackers. Any questions?
So Rena says, very good points about van life, good insight. I would like to vacation once the restrictions here are lifted for the ability to have my pups travel with me. That's always a good thing if you've got dogs and things and you want to travel around. It's an easier way with a van, isn't it, sometimes?
Van's a good way. We had great time doing van life, and I'd do it again, but at the moment it doesn't suit what we are doing.
No. And maybe if you're doing a specific continent or something, maybe it's good to do that. Yeah? Rena says, hoping for Niagara Falls. That would be nice. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang style.
To visit Niagara Falls,
Yes.
Rena. Not go over them.
So Amy says, what was your favourite snack? Trying to think.
My favourite snack was still my Jammie Dodgers. My carrot caramel.
Yeah.
What was yours?
I'm just trying to say. I quite like just seeing them on the side there, the little pink cola, chocolate covered Turkish delighty thing.
They were nice.
That was quite nice, wasn't it?
A fruit gummy covered in chocolate.
The problem is, by the time you get to the end of it, you know, it's chocolate upon chocolate. And if you have it just that one bar on one day, they actually probably are all quite good, aren't they?
I think nothing was just...
Oh, no, I'm going to disagree with you. Can you say what you're going to say? Nothing was disappointing. I didn't like the spongy cake things.
Oh, yeah.
They were a bit disappointing.
The cake. Pop cake.
Yeah, I didn't. But they smelt really good, but they didn't taste. I mean, they tasted okay, but I suppose I'm not just one for spongy cakes, processed spongy cakes.
But nothing was inedible.
No.
Everything there would have been a nice snack if somebody had offered it to you, and you were hungry. You'd have eaten everything that was there. It was all good. Nothing unusual.
And Rena says, I seriously cannot believe you're still snacking. I know, Rena. What can I say? It's because it's there and it's salty.
Rena, I'm terrible. Let me just put that over there. Let's see if I can get this so I can lean forward.
And Annie says, you can stay for a few weeks in the same camping site.
And we've done months in camping sites. When we were travelling with our van, we would sometimes spend a month at a time, sometimes longer in a campsite. The thing is, who said that?
Annie.
Annie. The thing is, Annie, right? You stay in a camping site in most parts of Europe, and they're going to charge you anywhere between with a van, it probably at the very least you're going to be paying €30 or £30 a night if you need electricity and things. You're not in a tent. You're in a caravan or a camper. Now, if you go away with your family for a fortnight's holiday and you pay $30, let's call it dollars for argument's sake, and you think, okay, that's good. That's very cheap. That's like such a cheap campsite. Only $30 a night. I mean, it's less than a hotel. Hotel can be $100 a night. But $30 a night is $300 every 10 days. And if you stay there for a month, that is $900, close to $1,000 for 1 month. And you're paying $1,000 for a square patch of grass. It's not a house. It's not an apartment. It hasn't got 3 bedrooms. It hasn't got running hot water or anything. You are paying close to $1,000 for a square patch of lawn, with it at the very best a little post on it with a water tap and a thing. Now, if anybody on the planet thinks that's good value for money, then tell me about it. And that's what we used to find. We had friends here recently that were staying camping, and they were paying £10 a night on a pitch, which was excruciatingly cheap for this area. I mean, but £10 a night is still £300 a month for a square pitch of concrete. Now, you can rent a nice apartment in Istanbul for £300 a month. My friend here has an apartment, single bedroom apartment with a lounge and kitchen for less than that. So you're paying £300 for a slab of concrete that isn't even yours when you drive away from it. So yeah, I mean, I get it. This is the difference between long-term travel and short-term holidays. When you go away on a short holiday, you're quite often quite happy to spend $100 a night in a hotel because it's a lovely hotel, or even $200, $300 a night if it's a very special hotel. But all I say to you is what I've always done and what Michelle and I always done. Times that by 10 to get yourself the simple equation, $100 a night, $1,000 every 10 days. Times it by 3 to get yourself a month. 3,000, too much?
No.
Oh,
No.
$3,000 for a cheap hotel, $100 hotel. $3,000 a month for one room with a door leading into a shower. You can get a really, really nice apartment for $3,000 in many countries all over the world. I mean, some countries you could, well, I know of places where you could get for a third of that an apartment that had a swimming pool, 4 bedrooms, its own private access, servant quarters, to be, to cleaning, a place for your cleaning ladies to stay, modern. So you see what I'm getting at, that long-term travel isn't as simple as short-term travel. Because when you travel long term, everybody sort of says to you, oh wow, it's only that place you're staying is only $30 a night, so cheap. But you spend $30 a night for an apartment in the town you're in, and see what you'll get. So does that make sense?
Yep, does to me.
Okay.
Sue John says I would prefer an apartment and a bed.
Well, if you think about, when we travelled with our van, we used to have to pay anywhere from sort of $20, $30 a night for a pitch. When Michelle and I travelled to Sicily, so let's say I don't know the maths. What is 30? Let's call it $30. What's $300 in euros? No. Yeah, $300 in euros. And that would be just for a square piece of grass. We used to do the same thing in Australia when we 266 euros. We had a really nice apartment in Sicily, all inclusive, electric, everything paid for, log fire, for about $40 more than that. We had an apartment in Sicily, two-bedroom apartment, you know, gas and electric included. I think we might have paid extra for the electric on that one, but it wasn't very much. Now, we used to say this often when we toured for the year around Australia. We used to we often used to look at the pitch of soil that we were on and say, God, that's expensive. You know, if you times that by 365 divided by 12 and get your monthly rates, you're paying a lot of money for what is basically a square patch of turf. So you see the money that this is why campsites are so profitable and why hotels are so profitable. When you think of the occupancy in a hotel doesn't have to be very high for them to be making a shed load of money, an absolute shed. They can be as little as 30% occupancy in a lot of hotels and still making a great deal more money than if they were renting that same building out to long-term tenants or to offices. So it's fascinating then to sort of, when they get their high occupancy rates, which they often do through the summer, just how much money they make. It's a very lucrative business to be in. And campsites are even worse because literally you get nothing in some campsites. They just give you.
Some of them they're very very close together, aren't they?
In Australia they quite often are. In Europe they're more spaced out.
So Annie says, I prefer camping over hotels, but you are on your own all the time.
I prefer camping as well, but I prefer camping for short terms. I would never camp for a year. It's not good value. If you're in a tent, you can often get very special rates if you do long-term camping. And I'm talking super special, like, you know, $100 a month maybe for a decent campsite with showers and things. You can do that. And that's when it does start to become good value.
So Rena says, what are your plans after this stream? Allowed to go out? Are the stores, markets open?
Rena, everything is opened up. It's getting a lot more lively, a lot nicer out on the streets. The only thing is, I don't want to keep going on about this, Rena. They're saying that everyone has to wear masks everywhere on the streets. I mean, if I look down here now, 1, 2, 3, 4 people without masks on, but on the streets, everyone's saying to us now, the law is you have to wear masks. That's what they're saying, and I refuse to wear masks. I'd rather go to prison or pay fines. I'm not going to walk around like some drongo in a mask just because I've been bullied into doing it by people that I don't trust or believe in. So I don't want to get into it too much.
So after this stream, I don't think we'll be going out. I think we'll just be comatose on the sofa.
We're just going to lay down and
we went out before this morning to get. We've
been out. It's getting toward the end of our day now. It's getting towards maybe 7 o'clock in the evening, and we're probably just going to chill down and plan tomorrow.
But yes, we can get out and about more.
We can get out and about, but I do have to risk when I go out now getting fined for not wearing a mask. And people might say, well, then wear a mask, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. And
when we go into stores,
I had somebody in the last live stream get very antsy with me and say, you know, don't you care about the 100,000 people that have died in America? And I'm really a little over it. I don't know where the venom and anger comes from people, because it's stupid to even assume somebody doesn't care. Of course we care about people, but it doesn't make me believe anymore. I certainly don't believe in this whole coronavirus nonsense and all this gibberish that's going on. And I can blow it out of the water with one statement. You know, did you not care last year between the same periods, last winter to springtime, when 650,000 people died of influenza around the world? No, nobody gave a stuff about it. Nobody cared. Nobody even gave it a consideration. But it happened. It happened last year. Exactly the same. And the numbers this year are a fraction, tiny fraction of what happened last year, but we're all so fixated by it because we've been bullied. There was a very interesting interview a few days ago by one of the politicians in the UK, and I still can't remember his name. I should check his name, but he used to be like a deputy prime minister, And he said, you know, the thing is, we have to learn. He's no longer one of the senior politicians, so he can say what he wants. But he said, we have made a mistake. We were ill-advised at the beginning of this, and we've made a mistake. The problem is, how do we take? We've scared people so much, we've frightened them so well that the only way we can put this right is by saying to them, we were wrong. We got the wrong advice from the wrong medical people. We've taken wrong decisions. But how do you do that as a government without falling on your sword, basically? You know, to say to the people, not only were we wrong, we were so badly wrong we shouldn't have done what we did. And it was interesting, and he's absolutely right, of course. And people have been so frightened by what's gone on, they're scared now to do anything. And for a government to turn around to them and say, look, I'm sorry, everything we told you was so wrong. We've been so stupid. They would just have to resign, and no government wants to do that. So he basically saying, how do we do that? How do we get the strength as a government of the world to have the conviction to say that? And he's right. No government's going to apologise for the stupidities that have happened around the world at the moment, and they can't own up to the fact that they have frightened everybody beyond what is natural. And I don't know, and we're still in that in Turkey, sadly. Turkey's probably going into it slightly more now than other countries. So we've got this very strange sort of situation where the government are saying there's going to be a curfew when no one's allowed out between sort of, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're still doing that sort of nonsense because, and everybody in the country is sort of saying, what, the coronavirus doesn't go out between 9 and 3, you know. And there's a guy here just walking down. He's got the mask on. He's got a big plastic visor over his head. He looks like Darth Vader. And I can't even begin to tell you how stupid I think these people are. And I'm sorry for those of you friends of mine that actually do take their mask wearing fairly seriously. I will never change my mind. I don't agree with it. I don't believe in this coronavirus. I don't believe it's even a pico amount as bad as we were told it would be or could be, and I don't accept that we stopped it from being as bad as it could be by staying at home. I think that's an absolute bunch of nonsense. And if you want to know what I think should have happened, and I've said it many times before, at the very beginning of this they should have said, this virus, and they knew it at the beginning, is dangerous as are colds and flus to elderly people and sick. Please be careful with elderly people. Be careful with people who are, you know, have breathing problems and major issues. Be sensible, and they should have protected those people, and the rest of us should be now to get on with our lives. And that's what should have happened, and that's what should be happening right now.
So Eric says, when you turn 62, come to the United States and get a federal park for $20 a year and do the trails over here, camp all you like. Sounds like fun. Why 62? That's an odd age, isn't it?
I don't know if foreign tourists would get that, Eric.
And he says the average age of those who died is 84. One was 104. It's all the old people.
Look, it's not even. This is and I'm talking to you, the person that really wretched on me last week. I'm talking to you, you absolute moron.
Rena says, tell us how you really feel, Steve.
Yeah, no, I'm talking to that person because I feel like addressing them directly, and I really feel like that they should, you know, I wanted to call them stupid, but I do think it's an insult to stupid people to use that sort of phrase for people. They're beyond stupid. The fact is, the truth of the matter is that we've been lied to, and I've said this from the beginning, I'm not wavering since the start. We have been lied to, and not maliciously, don't get me wrong. This is because the people that run our countries are no smarter than we are. Many instances, the people that run our countries are much more stupid than we are. And we know this. We know this to be the case. We've always known this. they're not. You becoming a politician, a minister, a whatever you call it in whatever country, does not make you so erudite, so lucid, so smart that you know much more than other people. No, you're just an average Joe who happened to probably not have a job and got into politics and, you know, never had a decent job in your life, and sort of, you know, mum and dad were in politics, so you were in politics, and you ended up being the people that made these decisions for us. And they don't do it maliciously. I'm not having a go at these people, but they didn't do it maliciously, but they've made a mistake. And somebody, my friend Mohammed here, was saying to me, well, why didn't this happen during the last bird flu, the last swine flu? Why didn't the same thing happen? Why didn't we shut down? And I said to him then, and I say it to you now, it's very obvious why. Because social media. The last bird flus that we had and the last big sort of outbreaks we had in Hong Kong, there was no Facebook and Twitter, not any sizable social. They existed, but like, you know, you met people that never had heard of them or used them, and it's just the speed at which this nonsense has spread. And you know, we had at one stage governments who were standing firm and saying, no, this is just a cold, this is just a flu virus, and you know, it's fairly safe. And they actually crumbled through to pressure, not because of what was given to them factually. They crumbled out of pressure, and they crumbled because they're just human beings.
And he says it's been very intentionally and organised globally. And Sue John says, should have been like Sweden, the government's put the fear of God in us.
None of this should have happened. None of this should have been spoken about. None of this should have been in the media. None of this should have happened. It is absolutely 100% a big mistake. And for that moron and if you're watching, I'm happy to apologise to all morons for calling you a moron, because you're not even that good. For all the morons for that particular person has their bread delivered from the top floor, because it's such a long, it's about 5 blocks up.
It takes them forever to get it.
Takes ages. For that one person who said to me, oh, you don't care about all the people that died, I'm telling you now, and I said this right at the beginning, you can go right to the very first days of this epidemic and you can see me saying exactly the same. I care as much as anybody for the poor souls who have died from whatever they died of, because it's highly unlikely that even a small proportion of them, don't forget that almost everybody that's died has not been tested for coronavirus, but everybody that has died with any symptoms, and that is high temperature, a cough, phlegm, anything that remotely resembles coronavirus is being ticked in the box.
And he said they didn't die from a virus, they died from old age.
This happens every year. You can look historically at the amount of people that die from influenza every year. Last year and the year before, I think it was close to 650,000 people, and none of us even bat an eyelid. And you know, when the last big flu epidemic, we'll go back to as far, there's been several others, but let's go back to the Spanish flu, for example, came, it actually targeted more young people than it targeted the elderly, and it was pretty devastating. And what have we done about that? We learned to live with it, because that particular flu virus that came out is still with us today, and we learned to live with it. And there are many different variations of flus. The common cold they've never found a cure for it, and yet it kills thousands, hundreds of thousands of people every year. And it isn't the flu that kills people, or even for that matter the cold. It's quite often when that virus goes into your chest and you get pneumonia, and you know, you get an infection in your chest, and that's often what kills people. So sorry to go on again. I know I don't like talking about this, but everyone always brings it up. But
Eric says Canadians in UK can get the pass, so you should be okay.
Thank you, Eric.
So when we're 62, we can go to the States and get this $20 pass.
22 years time when I'm
For you.
62. We're going to have some fun this year.
Yeah.
You and we.
And you.
It's going to be a great year.
It is.
It is. And if any of you are really frightened about what's gone on, please don't be frightened. Trust me. We've seen this all before. It's people are in a very fragile mood at the moment, and that's how come this next wave of nonsense in the media has been blown out of all proportion. People are very fragile at the moment, but this will pass.
Marina says, always be grateful to you and Michelle for sharing the vlogs. It's been a saving grace for my stress level during the pandemic's closure. That vlog where your city just locked down without warning, crazy.
Well, look, Rena, I think a lot of people have been stressed. Some close friends to us here, you know who I'm speaking to, have also been saying, and I think they're watching at the moment, so that they're also got a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. And even Michelle and I are feeling the same as you are all feeling at the moment. But it's often a good thing just to write down what's troubling you. Make a little list, write it down, because when you write down a list of the things that are troubling you, they often feel a lot smaller. And if you don't make that list, sometimes even the smallest of things can get overbearing. So write it down. But I can guarantee you that we're all feeling a little bit more fragile and a little bit more vulnerable this year than we would normally do. But it will pass.
Nina says, great rest of 2020, yay.
Yeah, it will pass. You will actually start to feel like this was just a stupid memory in the past. We can learn from this. We were actually starting, I think, to make a difference to some of our world leaders. Sadly, they've proven to themselves this time to be as incompetent as ever. But I think it's a good thing sometimes to try and move, if you can find ways of moving outside of that group. I mean, Michelle and I, over the last 15 or 20 years, have tried to learn how to live outside of the system in many ways. And so it's a bit frustrating because this actual pandemic has pulled us into a system that we'd managed to escape from. It's like a black hole that keeps dragging you towards the centre of it. We almost had, I was at the stage in recent years where I almost don't know who the prime ministers are of any country in the world. I'd almost got to the stage, even the mighty USA, who is pretty much omnipresent in every news story that you hear, you know, to not know that Donald Trump was the president of the USA would be pretty hard going. But I was almost at that stage where you would have said to me, who's the president of the USA? And I said, well, I don't really know. I haven't been paying much attention. And if you can get that far outside the system, it's not a bad thing to do. And then this came along and it pulled us in like a magnet in a bowl of iron filings. It just pulled us all back into this sort of horrible little world that everybody's stuck in at the moment. And I feel a bit resentful about it, to be frank.
Sue John says, live life to the full.
We do. We live life to the full. We have a very, very good attitude on life. And as a rule, you know, when we travel, we enjoy people, we enjoy cultures, we enjoy everything about the world. And normally nothing outside of the norms can get to us. And this time they did.
Stuck in it.
They got to us, and I'm quite resentful.
So Arthur Larson says, I'm flying tomorrow from Philadelphia to Los Angeles and the flight is totally packed.
Wow. A friend of ours just flew from Istanbul to Germany. He's German, so he can do that. and he flew a few days ago, and there was only 14 people on a big Boeing plane, so there was almost nobody on it. Arthur, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And Michelle and I will be on the road also fairly soon, I think. Let's talk about it in the next live stream if you're all willing to. Are you? I'll tell you what. Are you all okay with me talking in this manner? And if you're not, and you want to be brave enough, pop your head above the parapet so I can take a shot at you. But if you are, we'll do some more live streams.
Yeah, Arthur is. He says yes.
I've got a video around the streets that I quite liked. It's hard for me to sort of put up. It's a little bit like my meditation video. It kind of has no direction or thing, but I think I'll put it up maybe in the next day or so.
Keep saying it hasn't got a story or anything, but I think it does. I think it flows nicely. So
it's basically just some shots that I've been making around our streets that I compiled into a little thing with a bit of music, and to me it means a lot. But to a lot of you might not even, you might look at it and think, what on earth that about? Because it hasn't got a story. It's just some filming. But I think I'll put it up anyway and let you people be the judge of it. Anyway, without anything else for me to say, because I've already run out of things to say, I'm going to love you and leave you. Yeah?
Yeah.
No questions?
No.
All right. Be good, everyone. Take care. And hope you enjoyed that little sort of taste snack and the rambling at the end of it. Michelle and I will see you again very shortly. Take care.
Bye.
I've got to find the off button. It's up in that light corner where the window is somewhere.